Hi. um, just طبعا مساء الخير. اليوم وياكم بث مباشر جديد وحلقة جديدة، واليوم ويانا ضيف عزيز، وإن شاء الله راح تستفادون من المعلومات اللي عندها. بس راح ننتظر دقائق حتى ينضم. Today we will be talking in English, of course. Wirsha can speak a little Arabic, but she feels more comfortable to talk in English. Therefore, we will be discussing in English, and if you have any question, whether in Arabic or in English, just drop down in the comment section and we will try to answer you. Just give me a few more minutes to let more followers to join before we go live. Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm waiting for Wirsha.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum assalam. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Wirsha.
Thank you, Mr. Haider.
I
Let
guess.
me fix.
Wirsha, can you send the invite again? I think we have a problem with the connection. Hello again. Sorry for technical issue. We're going live again. I'm waiting for Wirsha. Hi. Sorry, it's typical problem here. The electricity went off.
I don't know
the
what
electricity
happened.
went off. Yeah. I don't think you have the problem there. Yeah, in Kurdistan.
Yeah, we all had a problem of electricity.
All right, so you're familiar with that. I will start a little bit talking about Archder and why I created this channel. Actually, my main focus was to create a platform for researchers, and then I shifted a little bit towards students because I found that this issue is quite popular among students, and they don't really understand, especially when they just joined the architecture school, they don't have an idea about what they are going through. They don't understand what's concept. They don't understand what's composition. So they get confused. And as I get more involved in teaching, so I realized that I need to give more information about what research and what architecture is. So I'm trying to combine these both elements, and then I come up with Archder here, which means actually architecture, design, and research. That's why I came up with Archder. Yeah.
I didn't know that it stands for that.
Yeah, I will be introducing about Archder more, about the logo, about everything, about the meaning of that, but step by step, quite a lot of information. But as an Instagrammer, you know that you cannot just add everything up to your channel.
Exactly.
You need to gradually, yeah.
Yeah, what I find interesting is that what I find interesting about your page is that you have that academic background. You know, you already done your bachelor degree and then your master's and your doctorate, and that's like very good because we don't have that many role models on social media that have that degree and actually actively you know, engaging with students. So that's very interesting, to be honest. And I didn't know you actually have a doctorate degree, and I was surprised when I knew. So I think I mean, somehow you can share that with the audience, because that would be really interesting for people to know someone that have a doctorate and actually is a lecturer at a university and actually is active on social media. That's very interesting.
Thank you. I hope that we can find more people have allocate some time for that, because as you get more involved in academic and as I start teaching, you don't have that time to spend on social media. So that's why as you say, that's why I started this channel, because we don't have that engagement between, let's say, people with, let's say, lecturers and students on social media. Mostly
Exactly.
student to student, maybe master's degree, but as you go higher, then you don't have that time. Plus is you have an advantage that people can ask you and you can reply them in an official way, because you know you have done that, and you are in your 5th stage, right?
Yeah, I'm in my last
So
year.
you have to do a project research, right?
Yeah, I do have my graduation project, which I'm currently working on, and I do have a submission tomorrow, by the way.
Thank you for joining today. Thank you
Oh
for joining
no,
today.
it's
Yeah.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
What I was going to say is Wersha is from Sulaimani, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
she's from Sulaimani, Kurdistan, Iraq, and she studied at the University of Sulaimani. She's in her 5th grade, right? And she's studying architecture, which is fantastic. This is your last year. How do you feel
It's
about
my
it?
last. Yeah, it feels amazing, to be honest. Although, like, the situation is not really good, as we know in Iraq, and coronavirus and education is a bit low. It kind of have killed a bit of excitement in the process, because I mean, the last year is supposed to be more exciting than what it is right now.
With the convocation, the graduation party, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to have this project, your last project. You're supposed to put all of your energy in it, and it's like your baby. Do everything that you can for this project. But it's a bit lower than that. But I still try to enjoy it, although it's not, it's not what I was expecting. But I still try with it. We are just things are going slow, even because of the online studies. But yeah, going with it.
It's going well. By the way, I would like to ask you, where did you learn English?
Where did I learn English? Well, that's a long story. So initially, I had like 6 months to 1 year course in a English Turkish school. For 1 year of study, but then I furthermore improved myself by listening YouTube videos, and then end up being a YouTuber, I think.
Well, that's amazing. Wirsha, by the way, Wirsha, you can follow her account. She's a YouTuber slash Instagrammer slash interpreter slash role model, whatever you can call her. But she's very active on social media, and really, I was the first time I found her account. I was quite surprised, because she's quite good. She published a lot of interesting talk about not only architecture, or even about life. She posts her, you can see her projects also. She published on Instagram. I'm sorry, I didn't dig enough on YouTube, but I will be subscribing very soon to your channel. And I think I will have a lot to learn from you also.
Oh no, I'm not on that level, but thank you so much.
It's all right. We will be discussing that later. But I have a question now. Let's start, because we went off the script a little bit, but we will go back to track. I want to ask you. We have a very furious issue here. Let's say in other parts of Kurdistan, which is the number of students in the first year of architecture. Some university went up to 200 students in the first year.
In Iraq generally?
Yeah, no, yeah, we have like University of Mosul, University of Technology, I think around 160, 180. I don't know about Basra, but we have
a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot
in my department we have around 85, something like that. But it's quite new. We still have only till the 3rd stage, but still quite a lot of numbers. What about your university? Do
To
you
be
have an
honest,
idea?
like that large number is so hard to control for teachers and like doctors. That's very, I can see that's very chaotic for architecture to have that much student, because we all know like the way we study needs a lot of feedback, and it's near to impossible to have that much time to give feedback. You either gonna need a lot of teachers in your university,
Mm.
like to give feedback. In my university, to be honest, when I was a first year, I think nearly 80 student was accepted, but in the first year, only like 60 student already came in camp. Okay,
Still a lot.
so in that 60 student, guess what? Now we are in fifth stage. We're only 38, so
Still a
near
lot.
half of them left. They
Still a lot.
left. It's still a lot. It's still a lot. Like I would say like 15 student would be fine for architecture, but like what's interesting is like half of them actually left. So we are left of 38 students right now. But like in like 2021, like the new first year students, I just asked one of them today, and they replied me that they are 24 students, which I was really surprised, because I haven't heard in our university, which is University of Slemani, that less number of students to be accepted. And that was like a good news. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
of
I,
course.
I
Yeah.
don't know why that 24, but I hope they can continue on that in next
Yeah,
year as
yeah.
well.
What people want to know is why the number of usually architects, let's say student of architecture,
Yeah,
is few because
especially,
mm,
yeah, sorry, I interrupt you, but especially like the other engineering, like civil engineers, and they're always surprised why we are complaining on number of students. But the fact is, like our way of studies is really hard to accept that large number. It's really hard to manage.
mm, plus that an architect is a leader. So in one company you can
Yeah,
have
we
one
don't need that
architect,
much.
but you can have 10 civil engineer. You can have 10
Yeah, yeah,
and from other fields, but you need only
exactly.
1 to 2 architects, maybe
Yeah,
4
that's why.
max. In a big
mm,
company, maybe 4 architects, and you
Yeah,
need a
that's why
lot of
there's
attention
lack
details.
of
Yeah.
jobs. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, one student in one class, if you get, let's say, critics for around half an hour, you still think they didn't understand what's going on, even
yeah,
half an hour. So imagine if you have 200 students. Each
yeah,
student, they need enough knowledge. They need to discuss their projects with their lecturer, and they need a lot of
exactly,
time to absorb all the information from the lecturer. So by the end of
exactly.
the day, if you have a lot of students, then you feel that your lecturer didn't do enough for you. You feel that he hasn't done his job. But in fact, that the number of
Exactly.
students is a lot. And I will be actually writing a small paper about that very, very soon. And we'll
Mm.
be using this discussion, and next week discussion also we have a guest. We will be announcing that later about this issue of the number of students and
Mm.
everything. And I will be asking again about your last year now. Yeah.
Oh,
How's
my
your
last year
relationship with your student friends,
with the friends.
classmates?
Last year was like, I think last year was pretty good until end of February, which the corona came and everything shut down. But before that, it went really well. It was one of the most interesting year, because as you go up in architecture, you become more confident and you design with confidence, and of course you will engage with your classmates and colleagues a lot more, since it's been like 4 years 5 years just spending time together. It's really nice, actually. The relationship that you build in architecture is very different than any
Mm-hmm.
other relationship in other fields, since you do a lot of works, you stay up all night
Your
working.
design, design studio class. How long is it?
Okay, that's one problem I'd like
From
to
8
mention.
8:30 to 3:30, I think.
We do not have a design studio. Okay, let me just mention that problem. We do
Okay,
have a
interesting.
studio which we call studio, but it's not open after our lecture time. Okay, so once lecture is finished, it's closed. Okay, so basically that's one of the biggest problem in our university generally, and generally in the region. Okay, we don't have a place that would be open at least near, like, let's say evening, okay, to work on. So you can work in the dorm, in the dormitory, or in your houses, basically with your friends. That's what
You
do.
are staying in a
But
dormitory, right?
sorry?
Are you staying in dormitory?
No, my university is like 4 minutes away from me, so I stay at home. But that's one of the biggest problem, because we all know that group works in architecture have a
Very
really big
important.
impact. You're gonna learn a lot more from your fellow classmates that you're gonna learn from your teachers, because classmate, you know, when you have a classmate, yeah, you share your knowledge, you share like solutions, you get inspired, you see other students' levels. These are all good things that you can get from your classmates, which is possible if you stay together like in a place. But having a studio is something else. Like we all know, I've seen like dozens of YouTube videos of other universities and how they work together in their studios. So I mean, I didn't see that. I hope for the next generation that comes to
Actually, when I was in Malaysia, I studied in Malaysia, by the way. The university was, I never see actually my faculty, my department closed. 10 p.m. you can enter the faculty and you can still work with your friends. You can finish your project until 10 p.m. until 11. This department is still open. I was surprised because we don't have such a thing. Around 2:30, everyone will leave, right? So there it was until 10 p.m. I entered the university, and there are some students working there together as a team. That's why it's the interaction between students is very, very important, as you mentioned, and you need that high level of understanding to get to finish your projects with them.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of the things that we lack, unfortunately.
Let's move on to your Instagram and YouTube channel.
Okay.
By the way, wow. How you manage that? You are on your fifth stage, right? How do you manage that?
Okay.
And why did you start it? Why did you start it? The main question.
Yeah.
Why did you start it?
To be honest, I started my Instagram account 2 years ago. So initially, when I first entered architecture in the first year, I wanted to start. Okay, I wanted to start, but I didn't have that courage. I was not yet ready. And the reason why I really wanted to start was that I was like, I didn't find any people on social media that I could connect to, that I didn't find anyone that would share a student's life, a student's struggles. There was no one to actually give you some advice, someone that will tell you, you know what, you're going through these things, it's fine, you're going to pass it, just don't give up, just keep on going. Someone that could motivate you, that role model. So I couldn't find that person, and I see that that's a lack of that. And I wanted to share with the world, this is how our life is, this is how architecture is, this is. And another thing, like people, I actually entered architecture after I researched it based on what I liked, okay, but there was like, most of the students entered architecture without any knowledge. They did not know what they're assigning themselves to. Like, they have no idea what architecture is. So I was like, we need someone to make just casual videos, just to tell like a high school student, like, this is architecture, this is what you're going to study before you go. So these were like some reasons, and many reasons that actually pushed me every year to, I was like, I have to start something, like nobody's doing this. And that was one reason. So I started my Instagram with just sharing my sketches, just simple things. I had some business idea in mind, which I did not do. I left that. I was busy with school. So I just shared my sketches, and started my YouTube in the second year, I think. But I did not took it seriously until the quarantine time. In the quarantine, we had a lot of time. So I was like, this is the best time to actually take my YouTube seriously. And I did, and that was really good. And we just reached 1K on YouTube, and I was so happy about that.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much. And that was like, and another reason for that, which I really would like to talk about is, you know, in every field, there's a very diversity. Like, for example, when you look at fashion or makeup or anything, there's like male, there's female, there's all ages, there's all ethnicities, you know, there's Muslims, there's Christians, there's atheists. But when you look at architecture, have you noticed that there's the lack of female faces, and especially Muslim female faces in architecture, in social media? So there's like no like public figure, like at least I haven't found one, someone that have that. I mean, it's not so important to be Muslim, but like having that diversity in the field, I think is very important for the youth and the teenager to follow. And that was like another reason why I wanted to start.
In general, all female role in architecture is
It's
I
very,
want to say quite small. I published
yes.
something post
I
years
saw
again,
that, yeah.
but if you want
Yeah.
to read the full article, you can read it on
I
my
read it.
my
Yeah, yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, so you can see the statistics, right? It
yeah.
mentioned that the number of students graduate in the architecture, so comparing to the one, yeah,
More,
it
yeah.
is quite no, it's a quite low in the field, right?
The number that get accepted more than males, like
Yeah,
female.
yeah. So there should be more female architects, and we'll be glad to discuss that with you maybe in another day, because we have our time is limited and we need to
Right. Yeah.
discuss that deeply, right? Actually, right?
Right.
But your YouTube channel, did you try to let's say make it as your business?
At the moment, no, actually, I have not.
Future plan?
Maybe future plans, definitely, but anything in term of business would be serving the audience in the first place, then that would set me back. So anything business related would be like architecture related. So maybe in term of course, I have taught courses before outside. So yeah, maybe I would put that in my YouTube. Maybe I would do that, but at the moment I am just sharing.
You're enjoying it. You are enjoying it.
Yeah, I am enjoying it at the moment. I'm making video whenever I feel like it, whenever I feel like there's something in my head that I need to share. I would love to share more, but since we're not so much on campus, I would love to, share some daily life on campus and lectures and stuff like that. But since we're not, so that's a lack of content in my YouTube.
You have the courage actually to step up and start that, because as you said, there are not many who actually share their daily life on. Maybe they post their pictures, maybe they post some their projects, but we need people who can talk to us.
Exactly.
Videos attracts more. You absorb more from videos than pictures.
Exactly. There's a lot of we all follow all these architectural pages where they share the project and stuff like that, but we don't really connect to the people behind the project, the person that's actually running the account. We don't know them. We don't a lot of since I have created my YouTube channel, a lot of people daily on Instagram message me that they're like, oh my god, we just watched your videos, we were stressing, we were struggling, we were in our second year, and we just felt really relieved when you were talking about it's normal, when you're talking about going through these things is general, and it's really nice when I hear these feedbacks that they benefit from the videos.
It makes you feel proud that you have actually contributed something.
I also even if I benefit one person, that's really good for me. Really makes me happy.
We have here Lara. She said, "I have a final, but I'm still watching you guys. I'm so excited."
She's been follow us since so long. We almost become friends. She's nice.
And we have another here. So we used to sleep at the university. Actually, this is my brother, and he studied in Turkey. And the university is open I think 24 hours for them before the coronavirus, and everything like that. If you have any question, please feel free to comment in the comment section, even if it's in Arabic. I will reply you, maybe not now, maybe later, but we will reply you definitely. Okay, so what's your advice for a student in early stage about starting their own business, or let's say they start their own brand, let's say, or their trademark?
Yeah, to be honest, I would, especially when you talk about work, students usually the first thing they think about is internship. They feel like they have to start in their internship, but one thing that I would suggest is start as soon as possible, especially even not just business, in volunteers, for example. if I had the mind that I have right now, I would start volunteering after the first year. I would start volunteering in an office. It's very important for you to actually go to an office and see things and see how things are going on. Because one misconception that I had, which a lot of students have, is that I was like saying I do not have enough experience to go volunteer in an office or to be accepted to volunteer in an office. I do not know this program or that program. My renders are not good enough. I don't know. My skills are not good enough. Therefore, I waited to like, I don't know, third year, fourth year to actually start looking to, find a volunteer or work in an office. But that's a mistake, you guys. Anyone who's watching this, I really want to tell you that it's not about skills, it's not about experience. Just go to the offices, tell them that you want to learn. They will be really welcoming. Everyone will really be welcoming. Even like the last summer, I sat down, I write all the like 20 offices with their numbers. I called them all. And I got accepted in several of them. I even have options. Okay, so I started volunteering and learned a lot of things. And I was like, I should have started this earlier, because when you start volunteering, you're gonna learn a lot of things, and then you can use that knowledge for your own business. Okay, that's in terms of volunteers. And of course, internship is also important, but start before your internship. Okay, internship is too late for that.
And soon you realize that actually architecture is not only about designing. You need the skill to work in the office. You will sit between four walls for a lot of hours. You will do paperwork. You will sit there discussing with clients, with grumpy clients, with good clients. That skill of communication with the others, that you will be doing, I think, 90% more than you do in design. Designing will be 10% of your time, and 90% is how to deal with other people. Exactly. Yeah.
Client meeting is so important, to be honest, because one thing that lacks in our studies is that what we study is something, when we go outside is something else. Like, we study, we don't have plans, there's no budget, there's no like regulations in terms of like the urban regulations. There's so many things that is not existed while we're at university. But when you go outside, you're going to see things a lot clearly. You're going to go, you can ask like the managers to actually bring you into a client meeting, a construction project, just dealing with like workers, and all of these things are knowledge for you that does not need any software skill for you to learn. So you can still go and learn these things. And in terms of the brand and business thing that you mentioned, even that, I would always say, if you design any project at a university, design them with the mind that you are going to publish this thing for promoting yourself in the future. Like, don't design just for like your teachers. Keep that in mind. Design as if this is going to be built, so that you will avoid errors, because there's a lot of errors that happen in our designs. Our professors usually bypass them. They bypass them, but don't do that. You fix your own things. Just imagine you're going to build this. So use your project like as a portfolio. Design them as if you're later going to put them in your portfolio, sharing them online, so that they will be into that level where you could actually share them online to promote yourself.
Exactly, that's very important. I mentioned about portfolio before, and I talk how important is your portfolio. Not when you graduate, before you graduate, you start building that as you are looking for a job. Okay. Maybe you are not legally, you cannot really legally work as an architect, but you can still look for internship. You can still work in an office, part-time office, as you mentioned. I can relate to that, because I have so many projects. Before I was going to put them in my portfolio, I had to go and render them again, because I remember that time, it was good, but when I was going to put them in the portfolio and people start commenting on that, you realize, my work needs to be redraw, re-rendered again. So you build that from early stage.
I made the same mistake. That's why I'm telling whoever watching, because I realized this later. I I didn't realize it early that I should have done that, but I realized that later. So if you can, if you're like a first or second year student and you're watching this, so keep that in mind. And one thing, sorry, one thing else that I would like to talk about in terms of work and volunteers is that do other jobs other than architecture, because people think only design will help you or only working in an architectural office will help you, but in reality, anything that has to do with managing time, dealing with people, social interactions, for example, the teaching courses, like these things, anything that comes on your way, try to do. You're gonna learn from it, although they're not directly connected to architecture. Like I used to volunteer there in an organization where I was like teaching engineering to kids, like in a small way. So I learned a lot of teaching in that, dealing with children, dealing with like preparing lessons and lectures, which was really good actually. You can, you know, benefit from that later to prepare other things.
Exactly. Building your self-confidence is very important
Yeah,
to go in public, right?
exactly.
Maybe you can see our live session now. I haven't done many live session before. I have done many interviews with professors, with doctors, but none of them was live. So let's say this is an example for you. I started this live session as an experiment to see how people would react to that, to give myself the opportunity to try something new. In sport, like example, I never liked hiking before, but I went for hiking just to try to communicate with others and just see how and I hated the last minute of it, but I still like the idea that I knew many people from that experience. So as you
It's the
mentioned
fact
now,
you try.
you teach kids, but you will meet a lot of people that time. You
Yeah,
work in office, and then also you meet many people there. You try to strengthen your relationship with others, and try to make
exactly.
your network wide. So in the future, when you graduate, you will know many people that can help you, and you can boost your
Yeah, exactly.
career further.
That actually, that connection is very important. Like just knowing people, even if you don't learn anything, just knowing the people in the office will help you, because they will know you later on. Later on, you graduate, you send them CV, and they're like, oh, this is the person that volunteered in my office 2 years ago. So that would be a connection for you too. That would raise the chance for you to be accepted in a place to work.
Actually, talking to you is very interesting, but I still need to move to the
Yeah, yeah, sure.
point, discussing about COVID-19. Oh my God.
Oh,
We mentioned that earlier, and how
yeah.
is about to ruin your convocation, right? I really hope
Yeah.
you can attend the convocation this year. It's the most pleasure. Actually, I attended three during my bachelor, my master's, and my PhD. So I got
That
a lot of fun, right? So I really wish you guys you can attend at least your first one before you are seeking your further study, hopefully someday. So
okay.
tell me about online learning. Did your university implement that, especially last year? Did they implement that?
In last year, we had just a few lessons here and there, some like exams. It was all over the place. But we somehow passed the year. Okay, we somehow managed to do some stuff. But in design, one of the biggest let's say issues that happened to us as a first year student, we did not do one of our project which we were supposed to do. So in a year we have three projects. We did not do one of them, which was designing a hospital, which was really important for us to design. Which right now in my graduation project, I have a hospital which I have not previously designed hospital, which if I were to design hospital in my fourth year, I would be really confident right now. I wouldn't be struggling as I am at the moment, but because I have not studied hospital last
So why
year,
did you
this is
choose? Why did you choose hospital then?
okay. So I did not choose hospital. I chose, so this was, let's talk about this. Okay. I chose, uh, what's called, pediatric psychiatric rehabilitation center. So it was like a center for children with mental disorder. I'm interested in children and I'm interested in mental health. So I combined those two. I was like, I don't want to spend a year designing something that I don't like. So I better read something that I like. So that's children and mental health. So I combined those two, put it in a design. So that combination. But I sent them to my design graduation team. They changed the center to a hospital. So in my head, the center was like more into recovery, with play therapy, with it
Rehabilitation.
wasn't like a hospital. It wasn't like for diagnosis. But they changed
Rehabi-
it for a hospital.
mm,
So
like a
we
rehabilitation center. Rehabilitation center, right?
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So they changed to a rehabilitation hospital for mental disorder. So we discussed it. I discussed with my professor. So we agreed it's okay. We're gonna change the hospital. They convinced me that I'm gonna benefit from the hospital in terms of learning. And since we didn't got it last year, so they convinced me that you're gonna learn a lot from the hospital. That you're gonna learn from a center. So I was like, okay, no problem. So
Yeah,
right now that's what I'm doing.
yeah. The thing is, maybe people first year, second year, third year, they don't understand why hospital can be a bit. No, I don't want to say boring, but it's a bit strict in terms of standards because you have
Yeah,
to follow
every role.
standards in every room you design, in the
Yeah,
hallways, in the rooms, in
yeah.
the operations, in the
In the
reception.
high
Those all
ceiling,
are standards should be applied to your design. Plus, you have to be creative with the exterior.
creative. Yeah,
Exactly.
creativity is very hard when you have this many constraints.
Yeah. So that's why it's tough for you. Some people they
Yeah,
think it's boring, but at the same time you learn what standards are. So actually,
yeah,
she went she missed the fourth stage project, but now she's at fifth stage. She has an idea about how to apply how to implement standards into her design and come up with something let's say creative in the exterior.
okay.
So that's two combinations. It's really hard. Maybe
It
if you
is,
go with the theater or you go with the let's
yeah,
say by the way stadiums also
yeah.
require standards, but hospital is more
It's,
strict in
it's
terms
more
of
than
that.
that. It's more
Yeah.
about, instances for children, the standards are just a lot more. Like children's need everything has to be designed according to children is different than a normal adult. So, and even children that have mental health, that's just different than any other hospital. But I'm
Mm.
trying to work with it.
Yeah, I really wish you all the luck. I really wish you all the luck in this
Thank you
project.
so much.
So, what do you think about online learning? Can we still use that in the future, even after the pandemic?
No, I online learning, it could be used for some lectures for some field, even in our field for some lectures, but for design, it's just not it. It's just not working. Like it is very chaotic. Like the amount of knowledge, the amount of interaction you have with your doctors, the sketches, the models that they change for you. They break the model, they put this. The things that you do, the creativity that you get in camp, in design studio, in lectures is much more than an
Mm.
online. And online, the teacher's gonna look at your project, gonna give you some feedback, some stuff to do, but it's never that intense and it's never that connection. To be
What
honest, like
about
my
practical work?
professor,
What about the practical work? Will it work?
yeah, the practical work, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really bad for that. The only thing, maybe some lectures as structures like theories, concrete design, these lectures
No,
can be
I mean
done
after graduation. After graduation, dealing with the client, will it work?
online.
Yeah. I just
I
want
mean,
to know
I'm
your
not saying
perspective.
it's not gonna
Don't
work.
worry, your answer, there is no yes or no because nobody knows,
Yeah,
right? So I just
right.
want your opinion about that. What do you think about that?
I would say, I'm not going to say it's not working. It will work, but the quality might be a lot lower. Like if you have a client that you can actually see them, I mean, you can see them online, but it's never the same. It's never
Mm.
the same. Like that
Mm.
connection is never. It is possible, by the way. It is possible. You can do them a design. Maybe even before COVID, there might have been people who designed, hired other architect from other part of the world and deal things online without them
Mm.
actually flying to their place. And those things are possible, but the quality is never as you see the client or as you see the teacher.
We have here who wait a minute. I'm sorry, I cannot read the name. Kaiwanisa. Kaiwanisa.
K1.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, we shall just keep going. We need you. I'm just first
Thank
stage.
you.
I get a
You're
lot
welcome.
from you. You're
Oh, thank
welcome.
you. Thank
You're
you. Thank you
welcome
so
on
much.
her behalf.
Yeah, I think he's been following. Yeah, I always see support. Thank you so much.
Lara is keep copying. I have finals, but I'm still watching you guys. Go do your finals, Lara. Okay. Yeah, you can still
No.
watch our live session on IGTV, or will be recorded, and you can still visit my page, and you'll see everything recorded here. Go do. We appreciate it, but you please go do your
Thank you.
finals.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Photo Mobile. I don't know the name. I only speak Kurdish. You
Oh,
should learn. You
that's
should learn English. Your friend here is Kurdish and still speak English,
yeah.
right? Here we have why architecture in Iraq is 5 years and civil engineering 4 years. Actually, this one is depend on the syllabus and depend on the course, let's say course management of the country. There are some countries follow the 4 years architecture and some 5 years. Uh, uh, so I don't know why in Iraq it's 5 years, but in
I think
Turkey
I'd
it's
say
four
because of
years. Yeah.
just the program, like the amount, like the 4 year, you've got a lot of loads on you, and having a graduation projects on top of that and some other lessons would be more load for a fourth stage. I think that's one of the reasons.
It's still in the fifth stage, you only do one project and plus slash, say, small or mini thesis, something like that. I don't know why you should actually get a higher degree when you are in the fifth stage.
Yeah,
At
will be
least,
also if
yeah,
you
at
had
least a
masters
master's.
with it.
Maybe you get
Yeah,
one more year and you get your master's while
yeah,
this your architecture. But
that would be awesome.
you will be, let's say, wasting 1 year and say
Yeah,
your friend will be, you'll graduate and then you'll start working while you're still in the
yeah,
fifth
and you're
stage.
still,
Yeah, and still in
yeah,
the fifth stage. But I don't know, maybe in the future they will look about some changes in that, but I didn't really don't
hopefully,
know why it's 5 years here.
hopefully.
Anything you want to add on here to the first year students, to your classmate, to any last advice before we go
Let me
on?
just look at my notes. If let me see if there's anything that
Yeah, if you
I'd
have any
like to.
question, please feel free to drop. Our IGTV will be recorded in my page, and you can go again and see it anytime
What?
you want. Yeah, Usha.
Actually, that's it. I don't have
I
anything.
really
It was really nice.
appreciate, and
Yeah, it was really nice.
I will choose another topic for you because I would love to see you again here, and I think your
Thank you.
friend also want to see
Yeah.
you again live.
Actually, when you messaged me, Dr. Haider, I was so happy because it's been a while that I want to do some live sessions from people all over the world because it's very interesting to have that connection and to see the differences between each place, each university, how everything's going on in some place else, in some other place. But before I even actually look for people, you hit my DM and I was like, oh. Wow, this opportunity really good to actually
Yeah,
start what I have in my head. So
it's a
thank you
pleasure.
so much.
It's really a pleasure to have you. I will choose another topic for you, Usha, and maybe
Hopefully,
this
yeah.
will help you to go live again and speak in Kurdish with other, right? Maybe your friend they want to
Maybe.
speak. Yeah. Let's go live. Go speak live. I think it's very interesting, right?
Hopefully,
What
yeah.
about the 6 p.m. time? Is it okay for you the next time?
I'm fine. But I don't know for the audience. I think my audience would be more online at 9 p.m.
Mm.
since it's like, I don't know, dinner time, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I actually, as I say, I'm experimenting the best time for us because I came from East Asia. East Asia, 6 p.m. for them will be like 11 p.m.
Hmm.
Six,
You can
sorry,
actually check
6
the
for us.
insight on Instagram. It will tell you in every day the amount of audience that's available in every hour.
That's why it's from 6 to 9. So that's why if you choose 6, maybe you let the opportunity to other from the part of the world to see. Yeah, it's the same happen with football. If you see the football 10 p.m.
Yeah.
here in my country, the people in East Asia, they can't watch that because they will be sleeping. So that's why they still manage to
Sorry,
play
are you
sometimes 6 p.m.
currently in Iraq? You currently in Iraq?
Yeah, I'm in Iraq. Yeah, you
Okay.
can see that the electricity went off. That's why. That was a
I
sign.
forgot. Yeah, I
Thank
forgot.
you again, Warsha. Thank you. It
Thank
was
you,
a pleasure to
Dr.
have
Haider.
you. Thank
It
you.
was really
Thank you
nice
for
to meet
everyone
you.
who was following us today. And
Thank you.
hopefully we can see you again
Thank you.
another time.
Save
Okay?
the life, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. Goodbye and have a great day.
Goodbye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Goodbye. Bye. Am I ending this?